this is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com, here with another edition of Dragons and Modern. We're testing out the Sarkhan the Masterless deck with Gideons in it, that we then, and Karn, Sign on Versa, that we then turn into 4/4 Flying Dragons. Urza Saga's in the deck to synergize with Karn, and also, well, really, Karn is in the deck to synergize with Urza Saga, and Sarkhan the Masterless gives us an alternative win condition and a way to tutor up silver bullets. This is not a playable 7, unfortunately. I've learned my lesson there. This one is much better. I mean, we get blown out to so much, but I'm going to put the Black Blade to the bottom. I've learned my lesson with mulling these lands, or putting these lands to the bottom. I want, 3 lands at the very least. We have a bunch of 1-drops, which is great, but I want to, so we could have gone to 2, but too often I just don't draw another land. Looks like we're playing against a Ragavan deck, okay. Wait, we have a Ragavan of our own. 1-drop tribal. We will, what should we play? Esper Sentinel or Gideon? I think we run out the Sentinel. We'll trade. If they kill it, hopefully we'll draw a card, and if they kill it and we don't draw a card, that's their turn, hopefully. It's a lot of hopes. And then next turn we can play our own Ragavan and Gideon, depending on what they do. Is this Domain? Domain Zoo. Their 1 and 2 drops are much bigger than our 1 and 2 drops, if it is. Okay, so that went down the way I thought it would. Now they'll get the treasure token, so if they have a 1-drop to follow up, they can play it. See what they hit off of us. A Plains, alright. We drew a land anyway. Really good at drawing lands. Could dash in this Ragavan. I think we'll just cast it. If our opponent wants to trade, we'll trade the Gideon with the Ragavan. We're out of action though. They're at 5 cards. We're at 3. We had to mull to 6. Drawn a couple lands. We drew the Ragavan, to be fair. So we did draw 1 land, 1 piece of action. We are hoping not to draw any more lands for the next 2 turns at least, and to hit maybe a 3-drop Gideon or a, I don't know, Karn. Or if we're going to draw a land, let's let it be an Urza Saga. So see what our opponent gets up to. We have the Shadow Spear we can cast and equip if we end up with a single creature next turn. And we'll trade there. Gideon's great and all, but is he a better 1-drop than Ragavan? Maybe in the very late game he is. Last match, I mean, our opponent scooped after they were losing game 1. It was hammer time. But we were actually going to flip the Gideon if they didn't block it. Alright, that is Domain. Not another Ragavan. So many Ragavans, which are great normally, but they look bad against Domain. Yeah, I mean, there's not much we can do. Not with this draw. We have there's a Gideon, so we'll leave that on top. Play a Shadow Spear. Gideon's good. Like, that's one of our better draws to combat domains who they're about to go to 4 cards, and their threats are so cheap and so powerful, big power and toughness, that we need multiple answers. Lightning Bolt and Lightning Helix aren't going to 1-for-1. Otherworldly March of Otherworldly Lights in our sideboard. Gideon can at least nerf one of the creatures, but the chances that this is going to be the only one they play all game are pretty slim. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of creature strategy that can compete with the Orcish Bowmasters, because its creatures just come down much bigger. Scion of Draco, perhaps? Or some tech. Is it going to be the... I'm blanking on the name. Cascade Junspell. Oh, the drama. Oh, Leyline. That's why they're having a hard time. Yeah, so now their guy gets... It's all colors. So they need to sign a Draco for the full combo, but it's a 5/5. Swings in for 5. Does it have vigilance yet? They may not want to attack. They may want to protect themselves against this Ragavan hit. One hit by Ragavan. No one wants that. They have 2 cards. So if they don't have any big follow-ups, or if they don't have a Leyline Binding, sure. Take our beats. So we could spend, well, it costs 2. I was going to say we could, alright, so we could spend 2 mana, equip, attack, hit for 3, get the treasure token, then play the Gideon of the Trials. But that means a lot has to go right as far as like Leyline Bindings not being on the table. And if there is a Leyline Binding, that's our entire turn and we're down to 5. If there is no Leyline Binding, yeah, we would have gotten an extra point of damage and gained a little bit of life, but just don't think it's worth it. What is this here? Its power is equal to the number of basic land types among lands you control. So we can play this Flooded Strand. Target plus up on the Territorial Cavu. Probably want to get another white source, I guess. What does it say? Number of basic land types. I think we only have 2 basic land types. Alright, well, Ragavan got us something. Territorial Kavu might have been nicer, but none of our guys are going to grow the way that their guys are. Now, 3 cards in hand for our opponent. Will they have the Leyline Binding? Will they have the Scion of Draco? Just another Territorial Kavu. And a Tribal Flames. So, not a Leyline Binding, but might as well be. What's our best draw here? Gideon of the Trials is pretty good. since they just spent their turn killing it. Doesn't really matter. Maybe we could have swung in with a Ragavan, but just to see if our opponent blocked, but they surely would have blocked, and we didn't have the lightning bolt to finish off the territory. It was just straight up bluff, and I don't think our opponent would have fallen for it. They want to swing out with both of them, which they won't. Why would you swing with the one that's been targeted? Swing with the one we'll block. Just try to buy time until we can find some other answers. That was a good draw for us. We're also needing one more land to get to Sarkhan. Opponent's filtering their draws pretty nicely. They're attacking us. Their own Ragavan, sure. And yep, another casual 5-3. That's a lot of power on the battlefield. Don't think there's many ways out for us at this point. Another land. So we can make this guy into a 4-4, equip the Shadow Spear and attack for 5. Force a block. Put him to 7, gain 5, go to 14. Die on the backswing. Can shut down one of these guys and then have it die. I mean, an opponent can just block with the Ragavan. They're most, or just take the hits, and then we'll probably just die. Oh, I should have equipped it. Yeah, so I should have re-equipped this to the Ragavan to make it a 3-2, and we could at least traded there. Taking 12, gain 3, so that was a mistake. I was not playing efficiently. If they go for us, they probably, I mean, they could have just attacked us and then bolt us. If they attack us and kill us and we're drawing a Sarkhan, then they... just trying to think. Yeah. That was definitely a mistake. We should have, for sake of our life total plus killing this thing, equipped the Shadow Spear to the Ragavan and then attacked, and then we could be blocking and trading at least. And that way, so we would be taking 12, but this would die. So instead, we're taking 12 and this doesn't die. Frustrating. Well, that's why you play the games. I didn't even see who they were attacking. They might not even be attacking Gideon or us with everyone. So one thing we could have done, so that's on the stack. I think we just want to. We could try to set it up so they hit. We hit a land there. Go to 1. So we should be at 4, and this should be dead. And we're dead anyway. Alright, well, we would be at 1. Drawing another Gideon of the Trials. Okay, well, Domain Zoo is one of the boogaboos again for me when it comes to mid-range decks. It's just so much power for cheap. We have the March of Otherworldly Light that we can bring in for a little bit more removal. Blacksmith skill to help protect our permanents and also maybe trade up in combat unexpectedly. Doorkeeper Thrall. I just don't think it's going to do enough in this matchup. And Relic. Pithing Needle, not sure it does anything. Run it back. Yeah, Domain Zoo, man. It's a powerful creature strategy. We don't play Blood Moons because we play Urza Sagas. Alright, 22 land deck. 6 lands. Oh, brutal. Brutal. What are we going to put on the bottom? It's probably got to be the Sarkhan, unfortunately. I mean, that's what we're here to do, but... They have double ley line on a Molda. I mulled a 6, they didn't mold. No, they began with 6 cards and yeah. Okay, so they mulled a 6, double ley line. That's really good for them. I want to chat with my opponent a little bit. Urza Saga's good. Do we want to play this Black Blade though? Because if we play the Urza Saga, we're kind of priced into you know, making Karnstraks and not getting down this Gideon. So this is artifact, creature, or enchantment with mana value X or less. So I guess if they... They're not going to do anything. They have a very slow hand. So do we, though, for that matter. So now we can do the Urza Saga. Get down the Gideon this turn. I have not been impressed with Gideon Blackblade. It does give us theoretically some removal. And if we ever ultimate it, it does give us another Planeswalker to cast it to turn into a dragon, but it has not done a lot, unfortunately. And I just tested out a deck where I made some major overhauls and got rid of him and made it more red-centric Planeswalkers with the 3-drop Chandra. And it felt real bad, to be honest. Alpine Moon for Urza Saga. Alright, well, that hurts. We could get rid of it with March of Otherworldly Light. If we draw another one, we might have to do that. Do they have the Leyline Binding? So instead of attacking for 4, we're going to go for 3. They're going to bolt that. See what we're going to surveil. Leave that on top. Alright, our Gideon Tribal. Our opponent said they had a bad hand. I mean, they had a 6-card hand that with 2 ley lines of the guild pack. And yeah, not the greatest. Could we have attacked there? We could have attacked. And we should have attacked. Alright, so read your cards, know what to do. Definitely should have attacked there. Activated abilities if creatures can't be activated. It may not matter that we missed that attack. We should have, yeah, we were going to get in no matter what with a 4/4. So there should be a 10 right now. I mean, this is a legit punt too because they could easily come back to haunt us. So why can't we? Shouldn't we be able to plus this up? Oh, it's a creature, so the cursed totem won't actually. Aha, clever, clever. So there should be a 10. Now we can't activate Blackblade anymore because it's always a creature. So Cursed Totem nerfs the Blackblade, which is pretty nice tech. I was wondering why they brought it in and what it would actually hit from on our side of things. But we'll see if we can get there. So there should be a 10 and dead on this next turn because we would be able to attack for 8. Instead, we missed a whole attack. So this is the first time I was talking about how I haven't been impressed with Blackblade. I haven't been able to do anything with him. This is the first game I've actually been able to do much with him. And clearly forgot that he was a creature during our turn and doesn't need to be activated to attack like all the other Gideons. So hopefully we'll manage to get there anyway, and then won't another cursed totem. Oh man. See what we draw. Man, Sarkhan would be great if we could just draw a land. Yeah, opponent said they had a bad hand, and they're not joking. Oh man, we have our one removal spell that can answer anything but a 12 drop. And they missed her. Yeah, just a rough going for our opponent. Usually that's us that's taking the rough beats. Alpine Moon is good against Urza Saga. That's gonna hurt us. Yeah, I mean, I think we just run it back. Yes, I ended up tweaking the deck. We're making a really big overhaul to the deck. Okay, we have double white source, no red source. Sarkhan. 4 lands, nothing to do until turn 4. I mean, we'll keep it because I don't want to mulligan it. But we are probably going to die if our opponent has a decent start, which they kept 7, so I have a feeling that they're going to run us over. I guess it's our turn to draw really clunky. We have the the place at a card inside of Urza at the 4-drop slot, and we have 4 Sarkhan the Masterless at the 5-drop slot, and of course we drew the Sarkhan. And our opponent will probably have a much more aggressive start, and we have no answers for it. Already behind the 8 ball. Oh, it's just different art. Nice. So the overhauls I made with in taking out Karn, the sign of Urza, and the Urza sagas. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean they're gonna steamroll us, essentially. Even at this point, if we draw a 3-drop Planeswalker, we're just so far behind, and we did draw 3-drop Planeswalker. So I mean, we can like stretch it out a little bit here. Prevent that damage. Choose target permanent. Why can't I? I said protection from white. Yeah, it's protection from white. So yeah, could have emblem there. Anyway, well, that's Magic sometimes. This deck does have those real clunky draws. One of the reasons why I took out Karn the Great Creator and reduced our 4-drop slot and put in Gideon Blackblade was because I of this right here, what you're seeing, right, of 2 5-drops and a 4-drop, just having such clunky high mana costing cards in our hand when we really just need to be making 1, 2, 3-drop plays. We didn't. We already mulliganed once. I didn't want to go to 5. Maybe we should have. The hand our opponent has, though, is so powerful and so fast. They're at 34. Anyway, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. I'll catch you on the next one.
This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, and this has been another edition of Dragons and Modern. Be sure to go to my site and check out all of my original Magic the Gathering content, where I post articles and video of my janky modern brews in my commander decks. I'm also publishing a couple chapters every month for my science fiction fantasy novel called The Pod Kind. Check me out on YouTube as well. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next one.